governance call from Thales protocol. We'll focus on overtime V2 or sports markets V2 architecture that we just revealed to the public today in a live public beta, which is live on v2.overtimemarket.xyz. And a lot of work went into this, and this release effectively solves all the core issues that overtime had up until this date, which were very expensive maintenance, where every game is a different smart contract. Everything is tokenized, which is also very expensive and very, hard to maintain. The speed of the odds updates, the architecture of the odds updates, which wasn't exactly friendly to developing live betting, which would be definitely 100% toxic flow if we did it on the previous architecture. So yeah, and on this call we will slowly go one tip at a time and discuss about what's new with the sport markets V2 and why it will effectively change the world of sports markets. Because with this release we have effectively approached Web 2 levels of efficiency and speed and UX and stuff like that. So yeah, and first we could start with tip 203, and that's basically a tip to deploy the sports markets V2 contracts on mainnet, and which allowed for overtime V2 to be launched. Let me open it up real quick. So TIP 203, it's called Sports Markets V2, and the summary is implement and release a new contract architecture for sports markets. And basically what this did, what the biggest change of this TIP is introduction of Merkle trees. And Merkle trees are kind of from the realm of fraud proofs, so to say, where you can get much better efficiency on chain in regards to the cost of call data with using Merkle trees. And the only downside is there is a lot of call data involved into this Merkle trees architecture, but we have a stroke of luck with the Dankun upgrade where layer 2 networks on Ethereum significantly lower the cost of call data, which is why this was a perfect timing and something that allowed us to deploy sports markets V2 with the introduction of Merkle trees. So I don't want to go into too much details about how these Merkle trees work. That's mostly on the devs and probably would not be that interesting to the audience. But the important thing is that with this Merkle tree architecture, we can scale horizontally and vertically to infinity while keeping the fully on-chain and decentralized structure that we launched with the ethos that we launched with on 2021. And that's the most important thing. So all the odds would be pushed via these Merkle trees, and all the markets will be created as leaf of the Merkle trees. We have a bunch of new collateral such as USDC, ETH, and Thales, and we have a changed odds system where now we don't have skew impact anymore. All of the odds will be fixed from the time you put them on your parlay. You will get those odds, and new parlay AMM architecture that we released a couple months ago is kind of similar to this odds creation architecture that now the V2 boasts, and we all know how the parlay AMMs performed since then. So this is better odds, but not to the expense of LPs, is my point. And maybe now would be a good time to hear from the council members if they had a time to check out the V2. They had a privilege to access it prior to the public a couple days, and what do they think of the new design, the new flow, the new architecture, and what are their biggest impressions. And let's start maybe from Mr. Breakout and hear his thoughts about sports markets V2.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, great. I think this was the biggest update we have so far for the overtime, and I'm very excited about this. And the most important thing for me is addressing the problems we have before, like cash out system and the refund was really headache for the team previously, and then the having a fixed odds and lowering the skew for the large odds is great as well for the whales. So now we can have a attraction of the big wallet and the big bet with the V2. And then using the USDC is again like very safe decision for us to go for stables as well. And yeah, overall, I think we are addressing all the problems we have previously. And then the most important thing is actually, as I talked with the team, was the cost of the gas per month. I think previously it was very costly to create a market with the V1, with the blobs and the numerical tree. I think it will be very cheap for us to create markets. So we will deduct the monthly costs very, I'll say, like with a huge impact. So which is great again. Yeah, I think overall it's amazing for us.
Yeah, and just for context, I forgot to mention that so far we had this architectural kind of nuisance where cancelled games, which is a pretty common occasion for sportbooks, a cancelled game gets you a refund, but due to our previous architectural design, your refund deducts the fee that you pay, the fixed fee on your trade, and this had like a lot of backlash for the project where people when their game gets cancelled, they get a slightly smaller amount back than what they put in. And with the V2, we also solved this UX issue for the community. And thank you, Breakout, for mentioning that. Cool. Yeah.
I think like what Breakout mentioned is like something we initially thought it's gonna be a great feature, and in a sense it was, like, because if you if you are building an affiliate network, so if you have a lot of people using your referral link and stuff like that, so what we boasted about is essentially like as soon as someone makes a transaction, at this exact moment you get this referral fee sent to your address, and this definitely is the case and definitely is positive. But we had these situations where, as Paj mentioned, like this referral fee and then the save box fees, they were sent out directly and there was no getting them back, since it was an on-chain transaction. So right now how this actually happens is if a user actually wins a trade, like on the claim transaction, all these things get sent out. So basically we keep it to a very short time span, so in a similar fashion, I would say. But it's not like some of these other platforms where you get your affiliate earnings, let's say, at the end of the month or something like that ridiculous. So you would pretty much get it like in a day, or I mean like in an hour if it is a live market. So I think it's a really good improvement, and especially in this case, like, people will not be complaining. I think that's the main issue.
Yeah, good points. So yeah, we managed to kind of solve that as well with other bunch of stuff with the V2. Milky Way, if you're up, I know it's like it's like 3-4 a.m. at your place or whatever. So can we briefly?
Middle in the night, yeah. It's middle in the night here, and the connection is bamboo, as we would call it here. But
the best of times.
Yeah,
we
so
can
I
do
haven't
live
actually a
intro.
lot of time to had a look at it. I just got up half an hour ago to check what's new and to him the call. But like the design is, from my point of view, great. Like it's way more clean. I love it a lot. And as already just tweeted right now, I'm full in for live betting. I think that's a huge milestone and will attract so many more people. And yeah, looking forward actually on the UEFA Euro starting tomorrow or no, in 2 days, I think, 14th, right? And I guess there will be our first live matches as far as I know, right?
There will be some MLB stuff and whatnot, but yeah, Euro will be the most exciting one for sure. But just keep an eye out, even outside of Euro, there will be a plenty cool new live markets to play around every day.
Yeah, I think that's something really important that we really push that, because like these games are like 90 minutes or 100 minutes or whatever, and we really need to push so people are really aware they are allowed to position during this time and there is live things going on. So maybe integration into Discord with pings if there is a live market on or something like that to think about it in the future would be cool.
Definitely. The big voyage starts today, and God knows what will all the cool ideas come from today and on that built on top of the V2 stuff, and you know, not only that, but the UX advancements and stuff like that. So, yeah. BP, what's up?
Hi. Nice mic, by the way. Really sounds good.
Nice,
I like,
nice
yeah.
cough, by the way.
Yeah, I like the new UI. The optics are really nice. Personally, I'm most excited about Thales as a collateral for betting with bonus payouts. I'm really looking forward to see how this pans out, because yeah, it's very innovative. I don't know who exactly thought of it, but props for the idea. I think that's a big one.
Yeah, we'll touch base on that one after just the general V2 stuff. But yeah, the TIP 206 Thales as collateral is very exciting and could be a pretty big new utility for the Thales token as well, which I will discuss some brainstorm ideas later on.
Yeah, or chime on that probably. Yeah, because as you said, utility is key in my opinion.
Exactly, yeah, I agree. And yeah, V2 has a lot of exciting stuff, not only for the traders of sports markets, but also for the Thales token holders, which we will touch upon later. Cyberduck, the representative of Pongli. What's up and where is Pongli's view on this, and when will Pongli do some cool stuff with V2?
Yeah, so we met a couple of the guys in Belgrade the other week. Our lead dev, Michael, was in deep talks with Vladan on the API for V2. So we're kind of excited to work with that. It's going to bring some improvements for us as well. And yeah, I think shortly we're going to start working on an integration with V2. We just need to get up to speed with the API and basically everything that has changed. Me personally, I'm very excited about the new odds that V2 enables. I did some comparisons with V1, and it's a pretty good improvement for the degens wanting to bet and get better odds. So excited for that. Also very curious how the live bets will look UX wise in person. So looking forward to play around with that myself. Yeah, maybe I have a question on the referrals. If we're still keeping the old referrals for V2, or do users need to re-refer each other for V2, or are we honoring the V1 referrals? That's maybe just a question. And yeah, like Penny said, I'm excited for the new collaterals. Me personally, I'm also excited for the ETH collateral, ETH LPs that we're gonna eventually have. But overall, it looks like a lot of bullish things with the V2 integration. So looking forward to both using it and integrating it.
Yeah, and the question about referrals, I guess someone from the team, maybe Vladan or Gruja, can type a message in the call and tag CyberDuck around will the old system referrals still have the connection in V2 referrals, or they need to start again? I never thought about this and I don't have the answer right now, but yeah, hopefully the devs will kind of answer in the chat. Cool. Svenska, you're up. Can't hear anything. No green circle of voice. Nothing yet. Some technical issues for the council members.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. So I was saying that you already covered a lot of things, but one of the things that got me pretty happy is that we're gonna never be able to create a lot of markets, like because it's gonna be way cheaper for Thales to do so. So we can have Olympics and more markets. So that's a good thing. And another one is the single unified pool for LPs. So now we don't have separate pools for parlays and singles. It's only a new single pool. And I think it will be easier for people providing liquidity to manage their performance for those pools.
Yeah, the V2 will change the dynamics of LPing a lot as well. Not only that we will now have the ability to deposit ETH, USDC, or Thales to these liquidity pools. There will be some different, basically singles and parlays are now unified, and no one knows how this will exactly affect the AMM PNL, but it will be much clearer and much more efficient to LP now compared to the old architecture where you need to shuffle 6 pools across 3 networks, where now it will be like every network will have like this single pool, and all of the networks will have the same collateral, which will also probably enable some cool cross-chain stuff in the future, if it's feasible, of course. So yeah.
Just one point. So Thales is currently not open for deposits. The treasury is the only depositor, but maybe sometimes in the future.
Yeah, that was a discussion, though, like maybe there is no point in allowing people to deposit Thales into the LP pool because it will have much better odds compared to the other pools, which means that LP performance would probably be worse than the other core collateral, and the treasury can kind of cover those, and just for the sake of yields and some token utility. So yeah.
How about the ETH pool? Will it be open? Or
yeah, definitely. ETH and USDC. Those will be the 2 core pools for the LPs. And they will both have their own utility, and whoever decides to place a trade with ETH will go over to ETH LPs, and whoever decides to do deposit with stable coins, or I'm not sure OP and ARP tokens, do they go over collateral for ETH or USDC? I believe USDC. So I think multi-collateral will also use USDC as well as stablecoin.
Yes, that's correct. So if you are using any of the other alternative tokens, as you mentioned, like OP, DAI, stuff like that, this essentially means that you are trading against the USDC pool. And regarding the question, the pool for ETH is open, but it's WETH, so it's wrapped ETH, just so you know, and it has like 0.1 minimal deposit. So yeah, let's see how it works.
Yep. And I don't think Holmberg has a live mic right now. He's with us in presence and chat, right, Holmberg? Yeah. So yeah, basically, I don't know, Merkle trees, I guess. That's the name of the game here. And I forgot to also mention that now we can effectively have hundreds of multiple more offerings of market types and leagues and everything with the Merkle tree architecture, where we will be able to support many more leagues, secondary, third grade leagues, sports, and player stats across leagues. Yeah, I'm hoping to see like really degenerate stuff, honestly. Of course, with the proper risk management, where we don't allow a lot of caps. So yeah, that's basically it overall on the overtime V2 markets. Anyone have anything more to add on this general topic, or should we now?
Maybe we can add like we're going to have the V2 and V1 parallel working for some time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we will have overtime markets.xyz will by default go to V1, but whoever wants to participate into a public beta of V2 and play around the live trades and be involved into this raffle of live volume and stuff and use the Merkle tree architecture, they will have to go through v2.overtimemarket.xyz. But this will also be accessible through V1 via these banners and headers and stuff like that. So everyone who visits the V1 app will also be reminded all the time that there is also V2 to check out. And in time, V2 will slowly become the main one, the main DApp, where V1 will be kind of converted into V2 completely. And honestly, I can't wait due to the new design being much better, in my opinion, and much more streamlined based on our, 2-year-long feedback gathering. So, yeah, and there are plenty of incentives right now live for usage of V2, and not only that, but for all Euro volume and what's the other? My brain stopped. The other competition. Copa Libertadores.
Yes.
And yeah, maybe Red can touch upon those a bit. Maybe just a brief on incentives that are just went live. Red.
Yo, Sanda, yeah, we got a bunch of incentive going for Euro and also for the other European football competition, the Copa America, starting on June 20th. So yeah, both tournaments are incentivized with 20,000 OP, and it's going to be a single pool for all of for the two tournaments. And then we also got an extra reward for those two markets. So basically, everyone that tried the live markets, the top 20 P&L user in live market will just receive a 100 Thales voucher for V2 to use. Once the tournament conclude. So that's an extra bucket that we just added at the end just to promote live market. So that's pretty exciting. And yeah, both tournaments are ending on July 14th. So until then, rewards are live. And yeah, it should be pretty fun. There's one thing I'm not sure. I'm not sure I should ask here. But are currently V1 rewards eligible on V2? So like Parlay Comp and etc.
Yeah, that's currently under like the internal decisions about what we do with the parlays. Now we have two in parallel, so we will reach back soon on the official announcement of what happens exactly with the parlay competitions now that we have V1 and V2 live at the same time. So stay tuned on this. And yeah, we will definitely have plenty of these situations now that we are shuffling between V1 and V2, where more and more competitions will pop up for V2, more and more dedicated incentive campaigns and rewards for V2 will pop up and slowly engulf all the V1 incentives in time. So this will be like a slow transition. But the next in line will be the parlay competition, where we still didn't kind of figure it out yet, but we will soon and announce properly to the community about what happens with those very, very popular rewards for all overtime users. And yeah, the cool thing about the Thales vouchers that we kind of promised to all the, like, we will award top 20 live markets volume drivers, 100 Thales vouchers each, and the key words here are Thales and vouchers. And this means that these Thales this voucher will have the best odds on the platform when used, because they will go through the Thales pool, and they will be with the new V2 vouchers architecture, which will also like support Thales, ETH, and USDC. So it's a pretty cool incentive, and we will use it as a testing production for every future rewards for V2 users. So yeah, I guess that's it. And maybe I can touch upon now the TIP. What's the number? The TIP 204 USDC as default collateral for overtime V2. And this TIP basically formalizes that overtime and daily sports markets V2 are moving away from SUSD on Optimism and bridge versions of USDC on Base and Arbitrum to the native USDC on all chains as base collateral. So we were born as a synthetic spin-off, and we were using SUSD as core collateral for what, like 3 years now and more. So basically this is like a really significant step for us due to like the main motivation, like in my eyes, is that USDC is definitely the most easy one to work with and the most adopted one across the space, DeFi space, on-chain space, especially across the Base network and Arbitrum network, and of course Optimism network. So yeah, this was the decision, and nothing wrong with SUSD, even though it from time to time it had some DPEG issues, not significant ones, but that's kind of the curse of being like a fully decentralized stablecoin. But basically, just for adoption and growth reasons, USDC is now the main core collateral across all networks. And basically, this means that, you know, we will tap into a much larger demographic of LPs and also have much deeper liquidity available for multi-collateral positioning of other means of buying in tickets and parlays and whatnot, because USDC native pools on Curve and stuff like that are the most liquid ones. And yeah, I'm also excited to explore now that we have the same native USDC across all networks. Maybe there is something to explore in the future about some cross-chain LP pools using USDC, and maybe rebalancing something similar that we did with daily staking. Like, this is like a complete brainstorm from my side, but hopefully this fact that we changed to USDC makes us think about these cool cross-chain stuff in the future. You never know what new cool tech will pop up that will make this possible. Like maybe it's CCIP from Chainlink or whatever. So this is also cool to think about. And yeah, that's basically it from USDC part from my side. And go ahead.
I love that basically. So I'm not sure if it is in the plans or anything. I'm sure we talked about it sometime, but I would love to unify basically. I'm not sure. Of course, it is not possible to unify all LP pools basically into one huge one. So you don't have to like break your head whether you will deposit into a correct one. So because you see these situations where we had this like Arbitrum LP pool like performing out of this world basically for I don't know 4 weeks, and then someone just realizes, oh, I should have put my money inside there, and then as soon as they do, like this one RBLP, it kind of drops. So if we would unify these things, I think like it would be foolproof. It might be like a bit less inclined to for you to have like a 10% week or something, I don't think it would be possible, but it would be like steady income, I would say. And I wanted to address one more point. As Paj mentioned, so USDC is the native collateral we are using, but USDC bridged is also supported. So USDC is also one of the available options. So if you still prefer to use this, because I think it still kind of has a larger liquidity available on Optimism, it's fully okay. So you can do that.
Did we do some rough calculations on how much up the LP pool would be if, like, historically we started with like a unionized LP pool?
No,
very difficult to simulate.
Okay, same.
I think like it is weird also because right now we unified the LP and the parlay and the single AMM, but on the other hand we split them across collaterals. So I think now we have, when we deploy to other networks also, now we will have more LPs than before. So yeah, let's see.
But it's a more sensible split. Personally, I was a fan of the Pali LP, so it's like one sad eye, one happy eye for me. But I think a split among collaterals is okay. A split among pools was kind of like cherry picking, to be completely honest.
Yeah, now it will be much stable, where so far you had this like parlay LP on Optimism, they did good, and Arbitrum singles did bad, and then people don't know what network to chase, don't know what pool to chase. Then they hear, okay, Arbitrum grant, now we go to Arbitrum, and they deposit everything into singles, but singles kind of stays dormant while parlay melts faces and stuff like that. So I'm just happy that we are slowly but surely stabilizing this bad kind of UX for LPs. But it was necessary kind of to nail it down, and it was still revolutionary how it's done. But now we finally are evolving into this much more efficient LPing architecture. And I think this will reflect in the number of unique depositors and the TVL. And it will also be really cool to watch the dynamic of USDC and ETH pools, kind of, how they work out now that we have multiple different collateral pools. That's kind of the most exciting part for me. But that's a completely different tip, which we'll touch upon after this. Does any other council member has any thoughts on this USDC conversion? Or I don't know, it's pretty straightforward, maybe. Yeah, not much to talk about there anymore. But the next TIP is much more exciting for me, is adding Ethereum as supported collateral for V2. And from my side, the LP pools are open for a long time, like like more than a year, right? For some pools. And basically people that are depositing into these pools deposit pure stable coins. And we all know the markets that we are involved with, the everlasting volatility and the start of the new bull market and stuff like that. So not a lot of people are comfortable locking stable coins for a long time. They would much rather be exposed to the ultrasound money called Ethereum. And now where we proved that our LP pools are kind of performing really well, and even the performance of the stablecoin LP pools is catching up from time to time with the performance of ETH from the beginning of the year. Now people can get exposed to the same performance of these LP pools, but by depositing native ETH, and that way they keep exposure to the Ethereum price as well. And yeah, that's basically why this is so exciting, and maybe this is the catalyst of having like a much deeper TVL pools in dollar value, just because we have ETH, and maybe if ETH goes to like $1 gazillion in the bull run, the pool, the ETH pool will also follow and increase the dollar value TVL of the protocol also. So that's kind of what excites me the most, and we never explored how much ETH holders love to use their ETH to kind of bet, let's say. There are a significant amount of pure ETH heads compared to like stablecoin holders. So let's see what happens. Any comments on this topic from you guys?
I think we should allow it, definitely. And I think like maybe ETH might be slightly less popular, but if you see these centralized bookies with kind of, ETH and Bitcoin slapped onto them or crypto slapped onto them, you can see there's like significant volume with guys like placing bets using Bitcoin or ETH. So I think it's definitely a step in the right direction. So yeah.
Yeah, and then there is this like you bet on odds 2.0 with 1 ETH, and your payout will be 2 ETH directly from the pool. And there is this like a bias towards smaller numbers, where 1 ETH would basically be what, like $4,000, 380 something. But people are maybe much more comfortable with being denominated fully in ETH, like 0.1 ETH, 0.2 ETH, compared to like pure dollar value, which is also has some mental games as well when it comes to UX.
I think this could make a difference. In speculation, when we deploy to mainnet, people like to spend their ETH in mainnet, right? So that would be life-changing bets for us when the time comes on the mainnet, hopefully. So I'm very positive about that. It's a very good change for us.
This is a tip Pudge was a huge proponent of. So yeah, I'm glad to see finally we managed to make him happy.
Yeah, I always wanted the native ETH as collateral. But it will be kind of tricky to shuffle between USDC and ETH, and when is ETH pool utilized, when is USDC pool utilized. But I suspect there will also be some maybe new integrations that fully focuses on ETH and just pump the ETH pool, but there will also be, some USDC integration. So yeah, it's also a totally different ball game for integrators as well. So let's see how it pans out. Today we start that journey, and no one has the answers yet, but we will as we collect data.
Just for clarification, for using ETH, Thales, or USDC, like depending on the odds and the weight of the slippage, we don't offer different odds, right? If some whales like bid very heavily on the USDC, does it affect the ETH and the Thales pools because they have like different liquidity pools over there, like same markets?
No, I don't think it affects directly the other pools' odds, but I think that basically it doesn't affect. But the only thing to follow would be the size of the TVL across these pools, and they will be the only ones deciding what type of size a person can get on these certain games. For example, Super Bowl comes or whatever, and these whales are not happy with the amount of liquidity they have on USDC pool, but they see, okay, ETH is really, really deep in dollar value, and then they will kind of use ETH, and of course, by the UX, we will help them kind of navigate through those, decisions. So yeah, maybe even the Thales pool becomes the most liquid one because it will be funded mostly by the treasury, and it will have the best odds. So it will be fun to see Like, are people more comfortable placing a trade with Thales and then being exposed to the price of Thales, or basically have lower liquidity but have like a stable payout in stable coins, or like is ETH price too volatile for them? Like, these questions are really interesting to me personally, and yeah, we will keep an eye out to these, and in time also research some incentives for LPs as well to gather some more liquidity. But yeah, I don't think the odds will be kind of cross pool affected by big trades and stuff like that. All of the trades executed through one pool only affect that pool and not the other pools. That's kind of how I got it, and I think that's the case.
Okay, great. And new use case for our Thales token as well. This is amazing.
Yeah, and that on that segue, let's get on the next TIP, which is the TIP 206, Thales as supported collateral. And I don't know why I didn't link these TIPs so far into the call, but yeah, I just linked this specific TIP into the call and event chat. And this is a TIP which is called Thales as supported collateral. So not only will people be able to use USDC and ETH to place trades directly with base collateral, but now we will have an option where if you are using Thales token to place trades on overtime, you will have significantly better odds and probably a deeper liquidity depending on where the team goes with the risk management. But yeah, this is like a really good new utility for the Thales token. So what's cool about this as well is that people will get essentially 1% extra payout for each game, but that means that if you chain up a parlay, that extra payout grows exponentially compared to the native USDC and ETH pools, basically. So if you create a 10-leg parlay, you will get for each of these games an extra 1%, meaning like you get a 10% more return, which is pretty significant. And yeah, when placing a trade with Thales token as well, the fee that kind of entails the other collateral is here permanently burned, and this Thales that is kind of used to place a trade, the portion of it that should go to kind of like a fee pool will be burned forever. And this also kind of helps in supporting the reducing total supply of Thales forever, which is something that we all love, right? So yeah, that's something I'm mostly excited about. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love it, honestly. I have been testing it in the last couple of days quite heavily. So it really is seamless. And when you see, as you mentioned, when you see these bonus points basically stacking up. So if you make a 10-game parlay, it's a significant bonus, really. So you can see like it's something you would normally not be able to get even by like arbitraging and finding better solutions. I mean, better odds on some different platforms if you manage to like compare them anyhow. So I think it's a really cool thing, and I also like the part with the burning. So yeah, let's see how many people will actually be using it. I think like there is significant incentive if someone is like really chasing a couple % of better odds. I don't see why anyone would not use it. I mean, I think they can be afraid of like price maybe like dropping a bit in the last I don't know in the next 2 days or 1 day or whatever. But I think it's a very useful feature to have, honestly.
Yeah, now it's just a matter of optics about how we help the Thales token UX on the front end. I had this crazy idea where we could have the Thales mode activated, where your front end then lets you know that now you are in exclusively Thales mode. You get the best odds and maybe the best liquidity, depending on what utilization rate we do and what the treasury deposits. And then you have all of these benefits, but it's kind of degen mode where you are also exposed to the price of Thales probably from the time you place a trade and until the time the trade is kind of resolved. So I like that idea where it's basically Thales mode or degen mode, where you go from these boring collaterals which are never moving in price to crazy Thales collateral and the best odds in the business and best liquidity in the business. So yeah, really, really cool. And this kind of also activates the movements of Thales tokens across the networks, something that Thales kind of lacked, especially in the recent year, where we didn't see Thales tokens be active, so to say. Most of the active ones, the active community members, just stake the tokens and do the claiming, where you don't see much movement of Thales tokens. And that's kind of also a big reason to get on the eyes of these centralized exchanges and stuff like that. So this will also probably help that case as well. We will see much higher volume of Thales token, much more, movement across the network, so to say. So yeah.
I love to see the strategies building up and in the calls in the events channel. So yeah, let's see if someone will be able to capitalize on this.
Quick question, is the ref fee still valid when betting with Thales? Because ref fee is paid out of the save box fee, FAK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. It doesn't get burned, I think, no, as the other fees, but it gets to the hands. But yeah, God knows what new strategies will come to traders and LP, the treasury and the project and the UX. But we have like a really good foundation. Honestly, I would just chuck 40 million Thales in it, put the limits as high as they're possible, and allow people to place trades with 1 million Thales. But let's see how the pools behave. Baby steps. Okay, any more comments on the Thales collateral part? Yeah, don't listen to me. Let's see, I said in chat. By the way, do we endorse stipend as fuel for placing trades? MetaGov TIP soon or what? Okay.
I think it's a good cause, so I wouldn't be against it.
Holmberg said that he would be surprised if like the majority of volume through the markets is not Thales. And honestly, I would love that to become a reality. That would be like a really good for the entire protocol, I guess.
Yeah, so regarding this thing, Ducky just wrote, I think this tweet is also live. Aside from these rewards we will be giving out for the Euro and Copa Libertadores, we also have like these vouchers basically for the users that have the best PNL, and they will be in Thales. So this is also kind of an improvement where we can use Thales as vouchers, basically. I mean, the voucher itself, it changes, so maybe Pudge can start the topic on what the changes actually are. So yeah, I like the vouchers. I think it's awesome. We should adopt it as the official. I love it, honestly.
Yeah, vouchers, yeah. Yeah, so basically tip 208, new vouchers architecture, where now vouchers will also support multiple collaterals inside of them. And for winning trades, only the net one amount is sent to the user's wallet, while the buying amount from the voucher itself goes back to the voucher balance, basically. So this means like there is a good example in the TIP where, for example, a user is awarded $100 in voucher balance, and the user uses like $50 of that voucher to bet on a game with odds 2.0 from decimal odds, which means that he is supposed to win $100 by using that voucher in this parlay. And in the case one, if the bet is winning one, the $50 is sent to the user's wallet directly, and the $50 from the buying is sent back to his voucher balance. So in end result, he has like still $100 voucher and $50 that he won as a winning amount minus the buying from the bet. And this is much more fair and much more kind of capital efficient for the protocol, and it gives us a lot of freedom of distributing more vouchers. And basically, in the case number 2, if the bet loses, the LP pool wins the $50 that was used as a buying from the voucher, and the user's free bet balance is now $50. So yeah, that's basically how it works. And yeah, the coolest system here is we would also be able to use the grants on Arbitrum and Optimism in OP and ARB to package them into these vouchers that will be exclusively only useful for placing trades. And this is like really efficient to incentivize people to just use use the platform. We don't promote any selling of these OP and ARB tokens, which is also really important to be aligned with these networks that are awarding us these grants. And yeah, that's basically like really exciting, and expect to see much more voucher utilization from the protocol as incentive campaigns, but as well as entire ecosystem, where I think we will see much higher activity and reward system using these vouchers. So yeah, that's basically it when it comes to tip 208. And yeah, and also when it comes to integrators as well, let's figure something out to also promote some integrator volume using these new voucher spec, where we might even implement some XP point system where the recurring rewards weekly or bi-weekly would be minting of these vouchers in OP or ARB, depending on the volume. I'm a big fan of that idea as well, still under kind of feasibility testing, still on paper. So yeah, that's basically it on 208. Any council member have any topics or questions or anything to share about this?
Everyone's just memeing in chat, I think.
Yeah, it's good.
But spirits are high. I think people are really hyped for everything right now. It's like really fun to watch people.
Yeah, and we also had plenty of discussions prior to this release with these specific topics with the community. Thales loves to kind of be transparent about all the developments, and the community, the hard community members already know all of this stuff, and it doesn't come as a surprise to them, or a sudden announcement, where it's built with the feedback of the community and council in the months before it's released. So that's kind of cool also. Yeah, so that's on the voucher side. Then we have the next topic would be live markets, and this is like a long time request from the community. When are we going to be able to place trades on these games that are already live? And as Daniel did his research, the majority of volume across Web2 sportsbooks is from these live games. But the issue is we are fully on chain, and fully on chain doesn't exactly fit with fast odds changes and risk management and stuff like that, where these Web2 giants have the luxury of actually instantly blocking requests or blocking trades, refunding and stuff like that, where we as fully automated on chain don't have those luxuries, and we have to build this from the ground up with this new architecture. And basically what we did is we found this really cool new provider called Optic Odds as a new data provider that we will be using to help us with the live markets offering. They really have good performance, and they will tap into the Chainlink Oracle system and provide some on-chain odds and stuff like that. And also the live positioning AMM itself has been, it's tip 143, meaning that it's planned for like forever, but right now with the V2 it's finally feasible to be implemented and have this cool new trading highway, let's say. And basically it will have a variable called live trade delay, and this will be a maximum allowed delay for a live trade to be approved by the Chainlink node. So the live trade will have to be approved by the Chainlink node, which has connection to these off-chain odds, where it will kind of listen, similar to a fee reclamation period in synthetics in the old days. It will listen like, is this request still valid with the off-chain odds? If it is, allow it to pass on-chain. And that's how it will kind of work. And yeah, we have these rewards, 100 Thales vouchers for top volume drivers of live markets for the next month. So we are really eager to see you guys play around with these live markets, give us some data to assess the risk management and have fun, I guess. And let's see through all of our Dune dashboards, will live markets really be the majority of volume on Thales sports markets? I'm eager to see that, honestly.
I think it's also like important to mention this is still beta, so we will be offering, of course, a lot of things. The first thing you'll notice is like for these single individual games, basically there's like 50 options per game, which is unthinkable like maybe 7 months ago or something. So you will see, you will have multiple like handicaps, multiple spreads, multiple totals. We will have that, but we will also be expanding our offer whenever possible. So because it is more economic to do right now than it was before, and we will also be raising the caps. But honestly, like I think, like for early release, let's say, the caps I think are pretty good for the live market. So yeah, check them out, and if you have any feedback, it is very much appreciated. Yeah. We'll gladly reward any useful stuff you guys find. So yeah, please do.
Cool. Other council members, like, let's ask like this: what's the most interesting part about live markets that you will keep an eye out now that it's out? Anyone? I wish Holmberg had the mic, so I think he would have the most to say about, but he is like the highest user of overtime, I think, not only out of the council, but out of the entire community. I guess he has the most transactions.
I'm not sure if it's the most, but it's some worthwhile transactions for sure.
And Holmberg's, he did a write-up just now and said that it was very, very fast now that he is playing around with them, and even sometimes faster than Web2 bookies. And it works kind of fluently, which is amazing to hear. And most bookmakers have annoyingly slow live markets, and they refuse bets very, very often. So hopefully our system works better than those, but of course with the proper risk management, where we don't have to kind of also be clunky as these Web2 guys for the sake of risk management.
Yeah, maybe like for the people that are present in the call, it is very much possible that odds will be updating when you are placing your bet. So basically, occasionally, like sometimes when you want to click like buy whatever, you're gonna get like a warning saying like, oh, the odds changed. Do you want to accept these? I wouldn't say like to mitigate this, but like you can adjust these things like in a very web-free manner. So there is like a settings sign basically allowing you to like choose your slippage, like very much like you do on Uniswap, whatever. So you could set it like to, I don't know, 0.5% or 1%, or like if you're DJing, you could set it to 5%. I don't know. And the higher the number, the less, the more tolerance will there be for basically odds changing. So just so you know, it's like your choice. You can do with it what you basically want. If you want to keep it like very strict and narrow, you can do that, but it is possible that this will prompt you to update the odds more frequently.
Yeah, as you can hear, devs thought of everything. And I meant when I said like this might change the world of sport books eventually. So yeah, let's see. I think we basically crossed all the interesting topics around V2, and all that is left is for you guys to start playing around with them and let us know what you think. And yeah, please, the new design of the front end is also fresh out of the oven. I love it. But if you guys see anything that requires some feedback from you guys, or feel free to kind of share on the appropriate channels so we can react on it and whatnot. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, I have just one more thing because you mentioned the design. I will also link it basically to the channel where we are talking. Like the favorite thing that we are offering right now, and I really like it, is like before, if you wanted to basically trade, you could do it directly from the markets page, and then it would add games to the parley view, to the right side of your screen. But now when we have like, let's say 50 or 100 different markets per game, it would be very difficult to show all of these things on, let's say, one single page, like for the markets page where all of the different games are. So you would need to like enter the game details and then choose the market you want, and then go back to the previous screen and then choose a different game and also enter the details of it. Right now, what you can do is basically scroll, let's say, and browse through all of these games from the same view. So I'll just be posting this screenshot into the calls and events page. So basically you will have like this middle part, which is basically the details of a game that can get expanded. And yeah, you can DM me for docs. But yeah, and if you want to switch to a different game, basically you could just like choose here the next one, Internacional and Sao Paulo, and then you can add it to the parlay directly. So I think it's like a huge time saver in my opinion. So yeah, check it out. And props to the designers, of course.
Yeah, designers and front-end devs both. Such an amazing job. And the UX is the most difficult thing to kind of nail down to support all of this architecture.
Yeah, and one more thing, since I'm already talking. So you can see in this screenshot, there is also like a bunch of new filters that we added. So for example, if you would like to, place bets, but the games that you are picking, they are like heavily skewed to the side of the favorite, and you are more like into placing, totals or handicap trades or bets, we have specific filters for this. So you can basically filter all of the, let's say, Euro Cup games, basically. For example, totals and handicaps and double chances, they're like really mostly a football thing. You can just like, for example, choose double chances, and it's gonna list only double chance markets for all of the games, which I think it's quite convenient. So yeah, I will not hijack this anymore, but you do the honors.
Yeah, that is amazing. And I have to still explore all the cool nuances in the front end that I myself don't know yet. But yeah, pretty good stuff. And slowly but surely, this new V2 front end will be the sole driver of overtime, basically. And yeah, we will give you guys some time to also kind of play around with the community, and please provide any feedback that you have. So yeah, that's it when it comes to sports markets V2, the front end, the architecture, the new collaterals and everything. Time will only show what good comes out of it. And yeah, do you guys have any other questions or mentions or whatever?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks for hosting this GovCall. It was super awesome. We'll have later a space on Twitter as well at 7 p.m. UTC. So if you guys want to chat a bit more casually about sport, Euro, who's gonna win, etc. Yeah, you're welcome to join us then. I'll just post the link right now.
Cool. Yeah, that would be a big one, and really excited to hear what those guys say. And yeah, also I just want to finally touch upon a different topic, slightly different. I won't go long into it, but the speed markets application is also slowly but surely ready for launch. And this is exciting because this will be the first full account abstraction implementation within the Thales ecosystem, where people will not have any sort of wallet interactions externally. They will just deposit into their profiles and click buttons, and they will play with speed markets. And this will also be fully on chain. Excited to reveal this, and hope you guys like it. A lot of work went into it, and I really hope that soon we will also implement this to some extent on overtime as well, where you will be able to use just email and whatever device you want deposited with the stable coins or ETH or whatever is supported, and just click buttons without worrying about, you know, your seed phrases or gas fees or whatever. It will be like a fully Web2 experience. So yeah, pretty excited to reveal this to you guys. Stay tuned in the upcoming weeks for this major launch as well. And yeah, that's basically it on the topic of speed markets. And this TIP that I went with live for votes today is the foundation to release this new dedicated dApp for speed markets with a new architecture that kind of resolves some not front running, but some, you know, some strike price timing issues that we had. Now we will replace the mechanism with some slippage where people will accept certain current price, and while it gets confirmed on chain, people will have the, you know, slippage allowance configuration on their front end, where they will say, okay, if my strike price changes to this certain extent, I will allow it. If it goes beyond this, I want transactions to revert. Basically, something that Uniswap and all these dexes have similarly. So that's also something worth noting. And yeah, that's basically it. Keep an eye out on speed markets as well, is my point. Full account abstraction, boys. We finally did it. So yeah, that's basically it on that part. Do you guys have any questions around the account abstraction? it will be basically like session keys and paymaster and everything. And also what's worth mentioning is that there are already programs specifically in the base ecosystem where we will most likely get certain amount of ETH from Biconomy and base team that we will use as gas sponsorships. So basically base and Biconomy will be paying for users gas on account abstraction to a certain extent, and we will probably implement some VIP mechanics where only deserving users will have free gas on using speed markets and account abstraction. That's also something cool, and I think this is the future of grants programs that Base is paving the way for, basically.
Now we only need Thales mobile app, like native, with account abstraction built in, and then we are set.
Yeah, but you can also just use the web browser, and there are also these progressive apps that you can just install the web page as a web app.
I know.
And that works the same as well, yeah.
Yeah, I actually just
it's
tried that.
Yeah?
I just tried it this morning. It works really well.
Okay.
On Android. I don't know about Apple.
Yeah, there are probably some hiccups between Safari and Chrome and whatever, but they will just be ironed out eventually. So I'm pretty excited about this release, and this is like the live testing production of account abstraction for everyone. I don't know any product that has full account abstraction from speed markets that are like almost released. Like we had to really pull our sleeves, especially Gorstak and the team, where we kind of are paving the way for full account abstraction dApps. Most of them are like, I don't know, either only certain amount, like just paymaster, or just one part of session keys, like Quenta or anything. And I see Milky Way mentioning Infinex, and yeah, Infinex is kind of trying to pump their own full account abstraction solution where they use their own natively built architecture for this, but we built using Biconomy plus particle integrated wallets. So yeah, let's see. Maybe in time, even Infinex will be able to tap into our contracts, and maybe we have an Infinex RAN application. Who knows? Sky is the limit. Let's see what happens.
I think like Infinex is very seamless to use, but it's currently, I mean, let's see what will happen in the coming days. But currently it has very limited functionality also. So basically you can deposit money there. I guess it gets more complicated with adding other things. I like withdrawing money, but yeah.
Yeah, but I'm excited about this, and I think a lot of industry people will be curious to see how we did it, and hopefully we can recreate it for all Thales products. And that's basically it. I guess we kind of crossed all the necessary topics. Any closing remarks from anyone?
Just one remark. So Overtime, we did not mention this. Overtime does not currently have like full account abstraction, but it still has the social logins. So basically you can just use the particle network and their wallet and basically trade very easily as you did before. I would even argue, and I think Pad will agree, it functions honestly better than using a traditional mobile wallet. So check it out if you did not do it up until now.
Yeah, you guys should be getting used to doing like a social login on your Overtime and just depositing funds into that social login when using it, because this way you will have easy access across all devices where you have that social login accessible on your mobile phone, your other laptop where maybe you don't have your MetaMask or like seed phrase or whatever. And basically Particle is really safe. They have their own like dual cryptography methods of keeping your seed phrase really secure and not owned basically by anyone. That's the key part. So yeah, make sure to kind of start using particle like social login on Overtime as well. And we will probably soon launch some tokenomics of our particle login, I don't know, metrics where we want to promote using this, and we will probably have some rewards for the first users of Particle Network and the existing users. Right now we have 600 or something, maybe more than 600 unique users that are using Particle Wallet or just using social login. But we will probably reward all Particle users up to like first 3,000 users with some vouchers and rewards. So this is an alpha leak for all of the council members and the audience that, you know, using social login will be rewarded in the next month. We just didn't announce it yet. So yeah, that's it. And I guess with that bombshell, we can end this governance call. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and we clarified some stuff around today's launch. And yeah, stick around in the chats, provide us some feedback, and please play around with V2 Overtime Markets, and stay tuned for a big Speed Markets announcement. And that's it.
Thank you guys for attending. See you.
Yep. Thank you guys. Thank you all, and see you around. Bye-bye.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you to the team.